Money fights rarely start as money fights. They start with a receipt, a bill, a purchase, a late payment, a debt, or a question from your wife. Did you really buy that? And part of you thinks, I provide and somehow I'm still on trial. That thought can light a fire quickly because you feel unappreciated. You feel treated like a child. You may think, I carry the financial pressure and now I'm being inspected. Money fights become personal because money touches safety, trust, competence, and the future. Beneath the numbers, there is usually fear of chaos, fear of failure, fear that the other spouse is unreliable, fear that one person will be left carrying the consequences of another person's decisions. If you miss the fear, you keep fighting the surface issue. One spouse talks about numbers, the other hears, you don't trust me. One asks for caution, the other hears, you think I'm useless. Then a budget question turns into a character trial. One man hears, you spent too much, and underneath it, he hears, you're a fool. One woman hears, we can't afford that, and underneath it, she hears, you and the children aren't safe. Neither person is only reacting to the spreadsheet. Catholic marriage requires justice. Money can't remain mine and yours in the same way it did before marriage. The household has a common good. A husband may lead financially, but he may not use money as domination. Withholding necessities, threatening abandonment, hiding serious debts, or using money to punish a spouse violates justice. A wife also has duties of prudence, honesty, gratitude, and cooperation. Marriage doesn't become holy by pretending that reckless spending is harmless. The Catholic frame asks, how do we order our resources toward the good of this household? Most couples fail because they discuss money only during panic. He sees a purchase, she hears a tone, he asks about the budget, she hears accusation. She asks for security, and he hears disrespect. I'm going to give you a weekly money conversation that lowers the temperature. First, see the trap. If you only discuss money when someone is already afraid, every money talk feels like a trial. This is especially important when one spouse earns more or handles more of the bills. Competence gives responsibility, but it doesn't give permission to humiliate. Anxiety deserves compassion, and it doesn't give anyone permission to accuse. This is where many husbands lose the room. They start with the spreadsheet when their wife is already hearing the word unsafe. Or they start with fear and never get to the spreadsheet at all. Catholic household needs both. The numbers on the table and also the hearts around the table. If you skip one, the conversation turns into accusation, avoidance, or control. If you've been harsh with money, name the harshness. If she has been careless, name the carelessness. Begin with the truth and then decide together as a household. So first, name the fear before the number. You can start with something like, I don't want this to become a fight. I think there is fear underneath this, and I want to understand it before we decide anything. Then ask, what are you afraid will happen if we don't handle this well? Now, you might hear, I'm afraid we will not have enough, or I'm afraid you don't think ahead, or I'm afraid I can't trust you. Don't answer too quickly. Next, move the conversation to a fixed time. You don't want to have the hardest financial talk at 1:45 in the kitchen after someone finds a bill. You can say something like, let's not solve this while we're angry. Let's have a 20-minute money meeting every Sunday evening. Then you can use 4 parts. What came in, what must go out, what decisions you need to make, and what each of you is carrying emotionally. Third, make one decision together, not 10 decisions, just one. We will pause extra spending this week, or we'll call about the bill tomorrow, or we'll each get a small personal amount that doesn't require any kind of debate. Or it could be as simple as we won't use money threats in our marriage. One clear decision is going to rebuild more trust than a long fight with no change. If one of you has hidden spending, hidden debt, or contempt around money, name that clearly. Don't hide moral disorder under the word stress. If you used money as leverage, you can say, I was wrong to use money as leverage. I need to repair that. If your spouse has been reckless, you can speak firmly. I want to be generous, but I can't pretend this pattern is safe. We need a plan and accountability. And keep the meeting short enough that you'll actually do it. 20 minutes with the timer on. If a topic needs more time, schedule another meeting. Don't let stewardship turn into a 3-hour autopsy of every financial sin in the marriage ever. And before the next money fight starts, schedule one 20-minute money meeting. Don't call it some kind of budget war. Just focus on the idea of stewardship. Begin with the fear, move to the facts, then end with one decision. A man who leads money well does more than just earn. He brings clarity, justice, steadiness, and peace. He doesn't use money to dominate, and he doesn't hide from money because it feels uncomfortable. Watch the video that pops up on the screen next if you need more help, because money often connects to passivity, leadership, and the overall household load. And if you want help applying this to your exact situation, click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get KnowlandBot. You can message it before a money conversation and ask how to handle it best without starting a fight. Also, if you have a question, leave it on the channel in the comments here because I'll answer the best questions in future videos. Thanks for watching.